T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to episode 445. Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. New breed on the block. We got Paco Miranda. Pythons in the building, but I'm your boy MJ. What is good, everyone? If this is your first time hanging out with us, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be on top of every single podcast I drop here on this YouTube channel. I come out with the podcast 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I do not miss. So wherever you listen to Trap Talk Reptile Podcast, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Shout out to all, I was going to say early birds, but I guess early birds are here. So shout out to all the early birds in the building. I see you guys in the chats. Appreciate all the love and support. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more out of what you see out of each episode, and if you want to just kind of get some of that exclusive content, some of that behind the scenes, then look no further than joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. The very first top link you see in the description below, click on it. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord that will tap you in with just shy of 200 trappers, man. And then you also get connected to the IG group chat, which is popping 24/7. So listen, all my trappers, all my Patreon members, I love you guys. You guys are my heart. Appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to support US ARC. Super important. This is a gold member channel all day, every day. Phil Goss, the entire US ARC team. Appreciate you guys so much. And if you don't know what US ARC is, I left that link to the usarc.org website. Second link right there in the description below. So click on it, read about it, stay alert, stay on top of anything that could possibly hit your state, your county. I mean, it could be real deal just like that. So again, Phil Goss, you're the man. Appreciate everything that you do. I do want to say tonight's episode is brought to you by MARC Clothing. Shout out to best clothing company that I've ever associated with. I wear this clothing brand religiously every single day, man. And I got to say thank you so much for partnering up MARC Clothing with the Trap. It's awesome to have a clothing brand to rep, and I'm excited to have it be this brand, that's for sure. So head over to MARC Clothing and put in Trap Fam for a 15% discount on your entire purchase. All right. Again, that's MARC Clothing Company on Instagram. So make sure you give them a follow. And then there's a website right there where you could go ahead and start placing your order on some sick ass MARC gear, man. So thank you again, MARC Clothing Company. Appreciate you so much. And I also want to say that tonight's episode's brought to you by Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles, the OG, the GOAT in the ball python game, man. Seriously, one of the best doing it. And honestly, one of the best friends that I have in this game, I will say. And it's an honor to have someone like Mark Bailey in my corner. Thank you so much, Mark Bailey. A lot of things to come out of Mark Bailey this year. So make sure you head over to his Morph Market and make sure you follow his work. Just be ready and get yourself some of that Mark Bailey heat because he's not to be slept on. That's a fact. All right, last but not least, this episode is going to be brought to you by SUNDOWN Reptiles, man, the tree monitor GOAT, in my opinion. Shout out to Brian Susan from over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. This guy's killing it so far this year. The year's just beginning. And if you are a super big-time tree monitor geek like myself, you have to be following this guy, all right? Because I'm telling you right now, force to be reckoned with this year. He works with all species of tree monitors that you could possibly get your hands on. And he's going to be breeding all of them. He's already breeding all of them. I think he's just waiting for the greens. So big things popping over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. He also has amazing lines of geckos and some other really cool gecko species. So make sure you inquire about those as well if that's your jam. But either way, the tree monitors, that's my jam, and that's a fact. Who else is my jam? My dog right here, Big E Top G, Emilio Villarino from Villarino Reptiles. What's up, dog?
What's up, homie? How you doing, man?
Happy Monday. Cheers to you.
Cheers, bro.
How's it going, man? How's everything? How was your weekend? How you living?
Great, man. Had a good weekend. My boy did his first show. Shout out to, Brock at Morphinary Arts.
My guy.
Yeah, man.
How is it to see like a homie Ven for the first time? It's like, it's kind of like, oh, it's my dog right there. Look at him go. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool.
Felt really good, man. Me and you both, we're all about helping our people get to the next level. And I had to go. I was resting up. I didn't want to, I took this show off. And I still went out and checked out on my guys, bro.
That's what's up, man. That support's real.
Yeah, Brock and Joe and Paul was out there. Alvaro. I feel like we had at least 6 V unit members there. And we had like 4 trap members there. I mean, it was phenomenal.
That's epic, bro.
So
It's good to hear. And also, like, just
yeah,
to see Brock going out there and just doing his thing already. He's only been in the game less than 5 years. So it's like cool to see him already just fucking doing it. So.
Yeah, and Joe D and Alvaro,
and JD,
all
yeah,
these guys,
JD.
They're doing it right, bro.
Well, shout out to the entire Florida team, the entire family out there, B Unit Trappers. Appreciate you guys. What you know about the homie Paco, man? Paco Miranda.
And I was looking over, his IG, his YouTube. He's coming, bro. Guy's very successful. I'm very impressed with him,
Definitely one of the nicest, most humbly quiet guys I've ever met. He'll obviously chop it up with you, but man, I've always seen a smile on this guy's face. And since the first time I saw him, I believe, it's always having a good time. And it's awesome to see somebody who came in at 2020 still around, but really here just now breaking ground. I think like if you did come in around 2020, this should be around the year where you start to fucking make some noise. And if everything goes right, and I know I've been wanting Paco on this show for a while now. And I always say, sometimes it works out the way it's supposed to work out. And I'm looking forward to really diving deep with the homie Paco tonight and getting down on his projects and seeing where he's headed.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. It seems like he's already making some noise. So,
yep. So shout out to everyone in the live chats, man. I don't know about you, but let's get the homie Paco in here. You ready or what?
Oh,
all right, let's do it. Do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated. It is episode 445 time with Paco Miranda over at Paco Miranda Pythons. New breed on the block coming at you right now. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crowd, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live, episode 445 with Paco. Homie Paco in the building. What's good, Paco?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good to have you back, dog. Well, not back. It's the first time you're ever here.
Yep, first time, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
And go ahead.
what's
Go
up,
ahead.
man?
Doing good, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Emilio, Paco, Emilio, they just met right now during sound check. And like I was saying, Paco, I think I've seen you. Arlington, was it the Arlington show the first time we ever met?
Yeah, it was Arlington. I think the 20 show, 2020 Arlington.
And that was like your very first time you kind of blossoming into the hobby and just purchasing stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that when you really became a brand, or what was it in 2020?
I had started to I already had a couple snakes, But then 2020 was, I actually went with Alyssa from Full Throttle,
Right.
and she's the one that kind of like took me backstage and like opened me up to like the vendor side of everything. Because like we'd always would go to the shows, but of course we'd just be like spectators and stuff. And then, once I went into that, I saw kind of the whole behind the scenes stuff, and just kind of kept it going from there, man.
And do you feel like making your ways to a lot of these shows kind of make you get a better understanding on what this was all about? Because I noticed you traveling to a lot of the shows and you popping your head up.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps, man. Just following people on Instagram and then just finally having that face-to-face interaction with people, getting to shake hands and stuff, maybe possibly purchasing some stuff and just talking snakes, it definitely helps, man. And not even if you don't meet other vendors, but other people that are in the hobby as well, it definitely just kind of opens all that up.
So how does it feel when I say like it's an honor to have someone come in, I guess, established in 2020, like your shirt says, right? Or, yeah. But how does it feel for me to say someone who's still around coming in during the COVID time? Because, the biggest topic that I've heard throughout a lot of podcasts are like COVID breeders, coming in and coming out. But that's obviously not you, and I'm like, but also that makes sense because you were hanging around with Alyssa, people who are really doing it like the way you should be doing it when it comes to working with any reptile. Like Alyssa's a real reptile lover. Like she really loves it, but also knows how to work some of the projects. So 2020, I mean, do you feel like, man, we're in a way different era now, or how does it feel in the last 4 years?
I mean, it's obviously, of course it changed because, when I got in during 2020, the whole COVID craze, people buying stuff like crazy. From the beginning, it never really kind of was about the money. I've always just liked this from the beginning. I always knew that even if I didn't do this, like as a business wise, I would be okay with it just being a hobby. Like I started out with bearded dragons, and man, those things, they're daily a lot of time, they're expensive, they eat so much, and more than anything, I was losing money on it. And I was still okay with that. I ended up unfortunately getting rid of them because I started working night shifts and stuff. So now, like I said, those are daily, and it just got a little bit more complicated. So then, I ended up kind of transitioning into the snakes. I'm not saying they're not as much, like, I know there's still work, but they're not as much work as like a bearded dragon and stuff. You can have a larger collection, be able to manage it a little bit better and stuff. But I mean, just going back, I think like I said, it just never really was about the money. I'm fortunate that I knew going into this it was going to be something long term. It wasn't going to be like 1 or 2 or 3 years. It could even be 5 years. I still have snakes here that they're going on 5 years now, and they still haven't laid eggs for me. And I kind of knew that going into this. So I feel like it definitely has made me a little bit more patient. You just hear all these big breeders talk about, the market is going to go back up and stuff. And, on your podcast, you bring everybody on and you just listen, you learn, and you just kind of take that and run with it, and everybody says, just hold tight. It's going to get better. And, hopefully we'll see.
I mean, Emilio, I don't know how many times out there I don't know how you are, what kind of person you are when it comes to reading instructions. I'll tell you, me right now, I'm bad. Like I'll break something all because I just didn't read the fucking instructions, right? And I think like reading instructions are just like Paco says, listening. If you just listen to what is being said and what direction things are headed, you'll be prepared for almost anything and almost be ready to build off of whatever current situation it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Most of us don't read instructions, right?
Yeah.
I'll admit that till I have to.
Yeah. But sometimes it's too late. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be too late when you could just kind of just read things,
Quick question before we go to the next
sure.
Topic. How long did you do beardies before you got into ball pythons?
I would say about 4 to 5 years.
Okay. Yes, I do agree with you that they are a ton of work.
Yeah.
I've never had them, but
yeah. Yeah, they were fun, man. I enjoyed them. That's honestly, I went to Pomona, my first show, and one of like when I first went to Pomona, and it was 4 bearded dragons. So I got like pretty heavy, kind of like into the genetics with the ball pythons and stuff. I would say Pomona is more of like the 10 leaf for bearded dragons, just because you got like the bigger breeders out there and stuff for all that. And you know, that was my love and passion. I still have some, just as pets right now, but I'm not looking forward to getting into breeding those again.
Hey, at least you got the understanding and like the taste of the difference between the maintenance on the two animals. You know what I'm saying? Because when I crossed over to monitors and I went to something that needs a day-to-day care, it's like, fuck, like it's way different than snakes, especially ball pythons. If you have a lot, I mean, if you don't need to see that snake. If that thing is, changed and everything properly at the right time, that snake's good for like 3-4 days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't doing that with a monitor or a
Mhm.
bearded dragon. You know what I'm saying? They need shit every day, and
Yeah.
and then when you go from everyday stuff to like periodically, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So projects, man, like let's kind of talk about some of the first things that even kind of got your interest to want to even go it this deep into ball pythons and whatnot.
Project wise, I would say honestly, I always went to all these shows like the Repticons, the local ones. And back in the day, the Atlanta Repticon was actually like a really big show. So, I started going to these shows. And of course, I always saw the ball pythons, but I never really like got into it. And then, one day my dad would always go with me and stuff. And we came across a table called Chasing Balls that they're not around anymore, but they had a guy that was Hispanic. And me and my dad started, or my dad and him, because my dad only spoke Spanish. They started talking. He started kind of like educating us on the snakes, and
All right.
and I started asking, just questions. How's the husbandry? He's like, dude, I got like 80 ball pythons, and to me that was crazy, because
Where,
like, yeah, that's crazy. That's so many ball pythons. But he was like, yeah, it's not that bad. You just feed it once a week, change its water. So little by little, I started. I actually bought my first one. It was a super pastel het clown female. Started out with that, and then of course, you started getting into on YouTube. You start researching more and stuff, and then that's actually when I came across the Batman. Um, when the Batmans were really hot. From Justin, and I actually messaged. Well, I didn't know about Justin, and I messaged the guy that I spoke to because I looked him up, the Hispanic guy, and I messaged him. Well, turns out I messaged the wrong guy. I messaged the wrong guy, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you spoke to me. I bought my first snake." And he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "Yeah, you showed me the snakes and you're talking to me." He's like, "No." He's like, "Where are you at?" I was like, "I'm in Georgia." And he said, "Let me send you to somebody in Georgia that's pretty big." Well, he sends me the link to Justin's page, and of course, like when you don't know
Yeah.
this stuff, you start scrolling through Morph Market, start getting on his website, the YouTube, and man, that literally just sparked everything for me, the genetic side. And but man, of course, like the lavender is the one that really kind of turned me on to all this stuff, the Dreamsicle project, and it just kept going after that, man.
What was the name of that company? Chasing Balls?
Yeah, chasing balls. There was a guy named Robbie and Brittany Smoke.
Where were they out of?
South Carolina.
Okay.
South Carolina. She's actually still around. I think it's Smoky Mountain. No, it's not Smoky. Um, oh gosh, she's still in South Carolina, but they ended up splitting, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good couple, man.
What were
do
you
you
gonna say? Go ahead,
background, the Spanish guy?
What's his name?
What was his background? Do you know?
It was either Mexican or Honduran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. His name's Eddie. Eddie is Argura.
There's a lot more Hispanics.
Yeah,
Game, bro.
yeah, man. I've noticed that.
A lot more minorities.
Yeah.
This game's getting huge, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Of course, you go out to California, you see the diversity. Like there's so many Hispanics out there,
Yeah.
getting into all sorts of reptiles and stuff. Here, you don't see it as much out here in the South, but in California, you see the whole variety of everything.
South-
Asians, yep.
Yeah.
Are you born and raised out there, Paco, Georgia?
So I was born in East LA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, born in East LA, but then my parents moved out here when I was really little, about 2 years old. So
Oh, God bless. Good for that, because who knows? You probably would have been like fucking MS-13 or some shit.
I know, man. That's what they tell me. And we go back. I go back all the time. Still have family out there, and every time I go to Pomona, that's where I stay at. And I mean, I enjoy it, man. It's fun, but I just try to think like, obviously, trying to make a life out there would be kind of difficult.
Dude, if you shave your head and put a couple tattoos on your face, you're a whole different guy, bro. Like I'd be scared of you.
Yeah.
You're not. You're Paco. You're the greatest. You're like the coolest, fucking nicest guy I've ever met. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
It's awesome.
Try to.
Yeah. So how often do you go back home and not back home, but how often do you go back to the West Coast and visit? Like a lot or no?
Honestly, man, it's I would try to go every year, man, but just unfortunately with work and stuff and everything going on. I went out there, my family, I have one aunt left, and some cousins out there. So I'll see. I try to make the Pomona show, make it around that time, that way you get to enjoy both sides of it. But I try to go every year, to answer your question.
What do you do for work, Paco?
I'm an ER nurse.
Wow, respect.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
We need
let me ask you, because I was scouting you today.
Yeah.
You're a really successful guy. By the way, my daughter's an RN, going into RN school. So,
Cool, man.
Congratulations. You guys have
Thank
something
you.
in common. You're also getting into real estate. Did I see that?
Yeah, I just became a real estate agent
Dope.
just recently. Yeah, so I paused my job just momentarily just to kind of really focus in and dial in on that. Try to really study that, and then I'm done with that now. Luckily, I passed the test and stuff, so now I need money, dude. So I went back to work. Went back to work as a nurse right now.
Dang, so your positions wanted that bad where if you needed to, you could just say, I need to take a break and just go back whenever you want, as long as you're on good standings with them?
So I'm travel nursing right now.
Okay.
So as a travel nurse, you're able to, the contracts are like 3 months. And then if you want to renew and stuff, you can keep going back and forth and, stuff like that. So I live in Rome, Georgia, and I work in Atlanta. So it's about an hour and a half. So you have to be 50 miles outside of the radius to be considered a travel nurse. So it puts me as that. So then I don't want to go too far, obviously, with the collection and stuff. I'm able to come back and stuff. I just work my 3 days up there. I stay up there. And then when I'm off, I just come back home and take care of the animals and stuff.
It's 3 days straight, and then 3 days off, or 4 days off, or how's it work?
It's usually 36 hours, so 3 12-hour shifts. Of course, I try to get them all together, but sometimes they gap me. So, I mean, it is what it is. And just come back home on a day I'm off.
See, that job must be intense, right? I mean, I'm sure you see some crazy situations, or what kind of RN are you? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I'm in Atlanta, dude. So we get it all, dude. Atlanta's pretty wild, we get all the gunshot. Well, I wouldn't say we get all the gunshot victims, but like, they'll just roll up. We get a bunch of overdoses.
Hot Atlanta. That's why they call it Hot Atlanta. This shit's hot.
Oh yeah. It's a different beast.
So
you kind of get a bit, huh?
What's that?
Kind of get desensitized a little bit after a while.
I'm sorry, you broke out. I get kind of what?
You get desensitized a bit to all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, it does kind of change your perspective on things. My dad. So March 15th will be 2 years after he passed.
Yeah, sorry.
And, yeah, thank you. He was we're best friends, and of course, like we do this as a job, we do things that, we try to revive people, and then, they pass, and unfortunately, we just keep going. It's just on to the next,
Life.
But when it's a family member, dude, it's a whole nother feeling. It's a whole nother feeling. So I try to look at that, and then, when we do get something pretty critical, I try to take that into consideration a little bit more, like this was someone's dad, this was someone's brother, stuff like that.
Shit's crazy, bro. I remember I wanted to become a firefighter really bad. Like when I realized baseball wasn't going to work out in college, I wanted to become a firefighter, and you have to go through EMT school before you become a firefighter.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. There's no way, bro, because a good buddy of mine was a little ahead of me, and he was going on EMT rides, and he told me what he saw one morning, and like basically a head in the back of someone's car, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm good. That would fuck me up. I just don't think I could become used to seeing shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, for sure, man.
It's
I'm
fucking crazy.
I'm not good with blood either. I freak out.
Yeah.
I'm being real with you, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Some people pass out when they see blood. Some people, yeah, you get used to it.
Well, I just want to say again, respect for having a job like that.
Thank you, man.
You being there for people in need. It's awesome. But getting back to snakes here, Paco. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because you start following some of the biggest hitters in this industry who put out YouTube content, and it makes you excited, but then also makes you realize how much you may need to transition and change things up possibly, right? Like we all know, Pastel and Clown isn't the really greatest thing right now, and as far as longevity goes for that just simple combo, right? So how did you start taking and realizing okay, these combos I now work with currently aren't going to be the move for the future, and I need to start pivoting? How did you start taking some of that stuff?
Yeah, as I always try to, my mindset, listening to Ozzy and all these people, just kind of keep it small, but kind of try to keep it powerful. Just get females that you can use 3, 4, 5 years down the road and stuff. But like you said, transition into that. I do have a couple that are pastel and stuff, and looking now, I'm probably gonna later on, maybe in the next year, I'm gonna start trying to move them and stuff. Right now, with how the market's been going, dude, I don't really want to give my stuff away. You see a lot of the price slashing and stuff. So honestly, man, I just took everything off Morph Market right now. I'm just gonna hold it back, and hopefully, as time goes on, we're gonna hopefully see that bounce back up, and then try to sell some stuff. Because right now, I still have the space right now. I still produce my own rodents, so it's not really costing me too much to try to maintain these animals. So eventually I am going to start pivoting out of some things, and start to bring in more recessive stuff. Like something that I always slept on was Hypo. I've always seen it, and I never really, for some reason, it never really caught my attention. Just until recently, I started seeing more combos. So that's something I'm wanting to get more. I have stuff that's Hypo, but no visuals. So I'm gonna start trying to get some more visual of that, and then yeah, man, just kind of keep going from that and see where it takes me.
Man, he said Hypo. He said it.
Yeah,
we're big Hypo fans over here. We love DG.
I know.
What are you gonna say, B?
Real quick, man, I'm with Paco 100%. I wouldn't give away my animals. What he did was the right thing. What I would tell you is that anyone out there, much like what he's saying, you could also come up with a different plan or come up with something that might work with those animals if you got to keep them a little longer till the market comes around. There's different ways to do this, man. I'm with you, bro. I wouldn't give them away, with the way the market is right now. I'm with you.
And I'm not bashing people that are, because I mean, I know there's people that do this for a living. They got to pay the bills, they got to, feed their families and stuff. Right now, I don't live off of this, so like I said, I'm able to hold all this stuff back. But yeah, people, you do what they got to do. No judging here.
Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to. I mean, everyone has decisions they need to make, and being desperate is just something that isn't. It's such a short. Okay, even if you get whatever money you could possibly get, you're just kind of doing something that's only a short-term fix. As far as what you should really be focusing on is what needs to be worked. As far as you're within your own projects for stuff that's going to happen when the market gets better, future-wise. So I just feel like. I mean, like I said, do what you want, but I think what Emilio says, smart move, what you did. Take that shit off Morph Market. Don't participate in the bloodbath and just fucking chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, who knows? It might even keep dropping. It might not be as smart, something smart to do. But I mean, time will tell. We'll see.
So as of right now, then, okay, your production is like about what size then? Like how many females you looking to pair this year, and how many clutches are you shooting for?
So last year I did like 12 clutches. So this year I'm looking at maybe probably about the same, to be honest. I'm probably not going to pair as many. I'm going to try to go for like some more new combos and stuff, but I'm probably going to try to keep it around that. I really like that number. Eventually, we're going to keep jumping from that and stuff, but I think it was still manageable right now as far as rodents and, just maintenance and stuff. I really like that.
The rodents are just strictly for your collection, or do you like sell off to other people in your area?
They're mostly for just my collection. Every once in a while, I'll have a little bit extra, and I have someone that'll come get them anytime. So, and sometimes I do have a local guy I've been kind of going to every once in a while. So
And
I'll grab some from him.
we talking mice, ASFs, rats? What are we talking here, Paco?
Rats and a little bit of mice. Yeah, rats and a little bit of mice.
No ASF.
Georgia.
No ASF.
Illegal in Georgia, correct?
What's that?
They're illegal in Georgia, correct?
Correct. Yeah, they're legal. Yeah.
Hey, Emilio, did your mic turn on all of a sudden? Because it sounds different now, just so you know.
No,
Can
it's
you,
off.
can you hit it? Oh, for sure? Okay. Anyways. All right. Back to what we were saying. So a lot of preference when it comes to like offering mice, rats, or whatever to your ball python. What do you like to do? Like, are you somebody to do mice for a small period of time and get them to rats as soon as possible? Or what do you like to, what's worked for you, Paco, when it comes to that?
What I do is I'll try to usually I'll start like a little hopper for their first meal. I'll do like the first two meals mice, and then I'll just transition them into rats just because like I don't have as many mice producing. For some reason I have the worst luck breeding mice. The rats do fine, so I always try to transition them into the rats as soon as possible. So I'll do like the first two meals mice, and pretty much most of the time I've had good luck just swapping them over to rats after that.
Before I hand you over to Emilio on this one right now, are you like, if you can have better production with mice, are you looking to do that, or are you just, is it just not important to you?
Yeah, I'm not opposed, man. I just know, like, for example, I have the mice in the same room as the rats. Somebody told me that's my problem. And if that's the case, like, I don't have anybody anywhere else I could put them right now. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions.
Separate them a little bit at least.
Okay.
Yeah, separate them a little bit, and that might help, because they're nervous little fuckers.
Yeah.
My rat guy told me that he compares a rat to an American bulldog and a chihuahua, a mouse to a chihuahua. That chihuahua was freaking scared of the rat in the room. So
Yeah.
that's how he broke it down to me. And I can tell you, I have only mice here, and I breed only mice, and bro, they are amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It might be what he's saying. Now he has ASFs and rats, and the ASFs do perfect.
Yeah, I might need to try that, man. Like I said, I have one little room here, and that's where I keep everything right now. So I might try to swap them over and see how that goes. I don't know if it's also just the lineage of the mice that I'm getting, because they'll get big and they'll start getting tumors and stuff, and end up dying. And I don't know. I haven't really. Go ahead.
Mine get tumors at the eight months stage. And
Okay.
that's pretty much when they're spent out. I've probably seen one tumor in 300 colonies.
Oh wow.
So I mean, it depends. I would get some lab mice.
Yeah.
Get a full line of white lab mice as soon as you can.
Yeah. Good to know. Yeah, all the ones that I get, they're like the color ones and all this.
Oh, good, bro.
Yeah.
Bad water and a bad diet can cause tumors too, right? From what I heard on mice.
I heard that from Jonathan Juarez. He was on your podcast. He was talking about the water and stuff. I haven't really found rats with the tumors. But maybe the mice. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, you know, kind of transitioning back to like as far as pivoting in certain projects, what's current right now for you as far as like your biggest passionate project? Like what's the foundation that you are literally sitting on in 2024 when it comes to these like projects in the ball python game?
So this year I really want to try to hit Confusion Desert Ghost Clown. I have two acid double head DG Clown males. They're about 900 grams, and then I'm just waiting on the females to build right now, and then hopefully I'll have a shot at that. But other than that, I started looking back at kind of what I have, and stuff, and I don't want to repeat the pairings. I don't want to keep making the same thing, so I'm probably going to be looking at trying to buy something else in. That way I can try to make some new stuff. But like last year, I made a couple of Desert Ghost Clowns, and I kept some of those back and stuff for myself. I made, so it was a 10 egg clutch. I made 5 of them. But I got 4.1, so I was only able to keep 1 female back. Still got the 4 males. I'm just kind of growing them up right now. But then I want to slowly transition into other stuff as well. I just don't know what recessive. I like the Xanthic stuff, so instead of buying a Desert Ghost Xanthic or something, there's already triple heads on the floor, like Xanthic triple head Xanthic Desert Ghost Clown. So I picked up a couple of those, and hopefully that's going to lead me into another direction down the road as well. But if I really had to say, man, I would say the Confusion Desert Ghost Clown is really what I'm shooting for this year.
Yeah, dude, those DGs you hit last year were fucking fire, bro.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, they're simple, but I love them, man. I just like the way they look. Even if the market's going down on them, it's still something I'm gonna work pretty much forever because I like it that much.
Yeah, and it's just like it is considered down because the price difference, but it's not really down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not that $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 snake no more. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing: like even if it's what $3,000 now, that's the new base for it.
Right.
That's the new base. I think we still have the potential to make it that $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 snake. Like for example, if Confusion Desert Ghost Clown, what would that sell for?
Wait, no, that brings it right back up. That changes.
That brings it right back up. So I don't see that there's anything wrong with the price going down. Unfortunately, it does suck for a lot of us that bought into that project pretty high and stuff. But you keep making the same ones and making more combos, you're gonna make your money back.
Gordy.
I'll tell you this: I'm not an advocate for low prices at all, right? But the price is going lower. Everybody's gonna have a DG Clown in their collection.
Yep.
There's so many people that are priced out of that market, or that have been priced out of that market, are that byproduct that you're hitting, let's say off of that amazing combo you want to make, it's gonna sell, man. There's so many people that want a DG Clown in their collection.
Yeah. There's levels to it, man. There's people that have just been waiting for it to go down, and they've always wanted one, and now they have access to one that, like you said, they end up buying one and stuff. So,
but the game plan is as soon as those people get their hands on one, you're already making Confusion DG Clowns. You know what I'm saying? So no, you are for sure. I can already see it. But that's why it's like that's the game plan. Always staying one step ahead before the degenerates can get their hands on the cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
in a sense, I'm just saying everyone wants a cheap deal, right? But to stay in the high stake game, that's the way you got to think. You got to remember that even though something is getting less in price, all it takes is that one other gene to make that fucking less in price thing go right back up, and it changes everything. And mind you, there's so many, like we have not seen super asphalt, super gravel DG Clowns yet, or like even super asphalt, super gravel DG Hypo Clowns, or Hypo Clowns and shit. Like there's just so much meat on this bone to tackle, which makes it exciting. If that's why I don't understand how anyone's not having a good time in the ball python game if they're doing it right.
And that's what I was gonna say too. There's still so many things to do with it that hasn't even been touched.
Yeah, and that's what makes it exciting. So that's but let me ask you this. because one of the things that I'm like, fuck, like I'm like you, there's something I want to add. It's Xanthic for sure. Xanthic's like that next, you know, and I am kind of nervous on how to add it, you know. What would be your best game plan when it comes to you wanting to add? I think you already kind of told us what you did, but like, let's talk about you adding another recessive into the mix on top of everything that you've been building. How would you approach something like that?
Well, I think, for example, I'm gonna give you an example, like the Desert Ghost het clown females that I made this year. You know, they're going down in price and stuff. But then also, um, instead of giving them away, I just rather hold that back, because at the end of the day, you know, you can still plug something into that. So like when I first started doing this, and I went to, for example, Bob Vu's facility, and I saw him. He had like 10 clown head desert ghost females, 10 desert ghost head clown females. So he's got a variety of all these females that he can plug one male into three females, and, you know, have multiple shots at doing certain things, as opposed to like the smaller breeder has maybe one desert ghost head clown female or a clown head desert ghost female. So with the genetic testing, I think that's a big game changer right now. So, for example, you know, like the tornadoes that are coming out, that's going to be maybe like the new recessive. If you buy a tornado, what are we going to put it to? We're obviously going to put it into a desert ghost, or try to put it into clown or some other recessive like that. So if I have these desert ghost het clown females, and let's say I get a het tornado male, I can breed that het tornado to that desert ghost het clown female and just shed test. And right off the rip, you're going to have triple het desert ghost tornado clowns, you know. So I think just like having the new shed testing is really what's kind of it, to whoever can utilize that. I think it's really gonna put them up ahead as to buying. I don't know what a tornado visual is gonna cost, like maybe 30,000, 35,000. You know, as opposed to buying a head, you can maybe pay 10,000, 15, and then just kind of work your way up ahead that way. That's just the way I see it. I don't know if other people agree with that, but I had good luck this year making paw sets that way for triple head desert ghost clowns, desert ghost clown pies. I made some triple heads like that with some combos as well.
Damn. What are you gonna say, Emilio?
Me and MJ talk about it all the time, man. Shed testing is like putting nitro back.
Yeah,
Gonna be amazing. There's so many different options you could use now, as long as you're willing to spend the money. And not everyone out there is gonna do that, but let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna be using RGI this coming season big time, because it gave me a bunch of different options now.
hmm
Right.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it, bro. You are absolutely right about that.
and it's like I said, you know, I like the Xanthic desert ghost clown.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of desert ghost females that I don't even know what I'm gonna do. But you know, if you buy an Xanthic desert ghost, you know, it's still up there in price. It's coming down a little bit, but even still, you can plug that male into those females and make your triple heads, Xanthic DG clowns. But there's already triple heads on the floor. You know, there are already people selling triple heads, so it doesn't really make sense to make your own heads right now, and just buy the triple heads and just work your way up. And maybe by the time those are ready, you can find a combo triple head male and run it to those females. You know, instead of just making an Xanthic desert ghost clown, you can maybe make it with some combos.
Yeah,
No.
that's my favorite combo to this day. I'm huge into Xanthic, as you might know. That is my favorite combo to date. The Xanthic clown. Xanthic is hard.
Yeah, I like it, man. Like it a lot.
None of our damn business, but we're going to talk about it anyways. What do you guys think Justin's Xanthic DG clown sold for? If you guys could just maybe like,
I don't think he sold one yet.
he did.
He did.
He told me.
Yeah.
I would say, let me go first, or you want to go first?
I'll go first. I think 35K.
Oh no. I say 60K.
Wow.
I think 50.
That's the #1 project in the game right now, bar none. I'm gonna try to push True Ghost as much as I can because I think it looks better than the DG Xanthic. Light years better, but when you
Yeah.
put into the mix, the DG Xanthic clown is phenomenal. And the reason I say that, if you compare a Hypo clown to a DG clown, there's no comparison, right? But when you start comparing a DG Xanthic to a True Ghost, the True Ghost blows it out the water. What's your opinion on that?
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, the True Ghost is the Xanthic Hypo, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
You're not sure
sleeping
about
on Hypo, man.
that?
No, you're good. I want to get some of that.
You have to, bro, because we just had a player recently just join the V Unit family, and he has some fucking True Ghost GHI shit that he was sharing. The guy who was going ballistic in the chats today, and I was like, man, bro, like we're talking a whole nother level of Hypo with Xanthic in the mix, bro. And you know, we're talking about two genes that just age really well. You know, like I'm talking about for other genes, like Hypo is Sunset Savior. We all know that. And we know Xanthic helps DG look even better, right? Even though DG looks great, but with Xanthic in the mix, holy shit, look what Xanthic does to DG. But now you put Xanthic and Hypo together, which has been around for a long time. Like True Ghost has already been established, but now fizzling back up to the top. You know what I'm saying? But like Emilio says, there's no comparisons, bro. Like, because I've seen adult DG clown shit, and it's not nearly as good when it's a baby, just like your typical ball python. But hold on, there's ball python shit that is now out there that ages better, that actually looks better with age. And that's stuff involving Hypo for sure, and stuff involving Xanthic. But when you have them together, it's a game changer, bro.
I always want, like, was saying, like, why would you want a snake that looks like it's in shed all the time? You know, that was kind of like my mindset. So it just kind of like blurred Hypo out completely. And then I went to Daytona, and Fireball had Pastel Chocolate Hypo Desert Ghost, and it was a female. So I picked it up just because it was pretty good price and stuff. And that is by far probably one of the nicer snakes in my collection right now. Just how it's aged. It looks kind of like frosted, like you just stuck it in the freezer and took it back out, man. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, good.
Real quick, I gotta tell you, I have a ton of stuff in my collection. I could tell you that my two favorite snakes in the collection right now, without a doubt, are my DG Hypo from Fireball and my Xanthic Hypo. My two Xanthic Hypos I produced here. Incredible animals. Yo, Hypo, I love you. But
yeah,
I have to ask you this real quick. DG Clown or Hypo Clown? There's no comparison there. Like Hypo loses that one, buddy. I mean, are you with me there, MJ?
It depends the quality of DG Clown, man. Like, because not everyone DG's clowns are respectable, to be honest. And I don't know, like, you know, Paco made a good point, right? There's people out there that don't want a snake that always looks like is in shed. But for me personally, the snakes I love the most are snakes that look like they're in shed when they're not, because those are the snakes that people always say, wow, look how cool that snake is, but it's in shed, isn't it? But no, man, like there's these Hypos, man, they smack so ridiculous. And they're not in shed. And I tell you, man, as a lot of you guys know, cameras, phone cameras, whatever, just does not do justice by a lot of these snakes. When you see these snakes in person, like, you know, you said you saw this at Fireball's table, it really just like you really understand the power of the morph when you see this shit in person. But you know, I will definitely have to back you up, Emilio. I've gravitated more towards DG clowns than Hypo clowns for sure. Until you see DG Hypo clowns, and then you like that even more, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's combo.
What does an Xanthic, what does a True Ghost go for? I tried looking it up on Morph Market, but there wasn't any.
I mean, 1,500, but that price is gonna go up. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know, we got in the project now. I think Miguel's gonna get into that project if he's not in.
He's been in it. He's
It's
just quiet.
coming hard. And I'm gonna tell you this, Paco. At the end of the day, even if it doesn't go up, for me, price isn't everything.
Yeah, true.
It's the look
Right.
that drives me freaking up the wall. So
The first time I saw one was in I think it was the Conroe. No, it was Arlington. Um, I went over to Mike Breezy's table, and he was like, "Did you see my Xanthic Hypo I just picked up?" I was like, "No." And then when he pulled it out, dude, I was like, "Holy crap, that thing is nice." It was so blue. It looked just like glossed over. It was nice.
And
Yeah.
if you think about what Emilio just said, man, it's so true. Because pricing isn't everything. If you really think about the animal, like that being the more importance as far as the quality of what you feel that animal is, dude, pricing could get as high as lows whenever the market wants it to, or whenever fucking Justin drops a video on it, or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have something that you know feels and looks good, you hold on to that. Just stand on it, regardless
Yeah.
of the price. Like the price could almost mimic shit and like make you want to do something that you shouldn't do. That's why you should never fucking care about the price. I mean, obviously you take it for consideration going into projects, but yeah, if you feel good about it and you want it, you get that shit. That's regardless of the price. I feel
It's like, with what, like, personally, what's your take on Pastel Desert Ghost clones? Do you like it?
I like Pastel. See, Pastel changes everything when it comes to it being in a double recessive.
Yeah.
And also if there's like fire involved or like that certain genetic that makes Pastel age better. Like I've showed Emilio Snake's clown with Pastel in it that I had. And I'm like, look how fuck this thing's almost 3 years old and look how good it looks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just depends what you put else in it. I haven't seen too many. Maybe, but here's the thing too, right? Hold on. Let's think about this, because a lot of people don't even understand that they might have Pastel in the mix when it comes to like doing certain double and triple recessive projects, especially when they have like, bro, Mark Bailey, for instance, right? Mark Bailey sent me a snake that's a triple het, and I keep looking at it. I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure this thing has Pastel in it. And he came over and was like, yeah, I think you're right. This does have Pastel in it. So if that could happen to me, how many fucking people out there do you think are producing shit and they're not enabling Pastel, but it could be Pastel in it that's making their DG clown just look a little bit different than a regular DG clown? That's what I'm saying. I just feel like could be some other things happening with some of these projects that are fulfilling with DG clown. I don't know, but I think Pastel's getting too shitted on. I think people are overly ham shitting on Pastel when they don't understand how Pastel is becoming relevant with some of these bigger double and triple recessive projects. It's like everything starts over again. Like we're talking about stuff that starts from ground zero, just like how it was when we first discovered these morphs in the beginning of time. You know what I mean?
People are taking some of what me and Brock have said as an attack on Pastel. All I've been trying to tell people is that you shouldn't have a bunch of Pastel. You shouldn't have a full rack of Pastel.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be your base. Pastel DG clown stuff is beautiful. I mean, but that said, I wanted to commend both of you. You guys have OD DG females that I fucking love. Like I'm so happy that I got some stuff growing to hit those combos, man. I really like Paco, your OD DG Pastel pipe female. That thing is incredible, bro. Incredible.
Thank you, man. That came from Wesley Hatmaker, Muscles and Geeks, man. He's got some beautiful animals, man. He really focuses on the OD stuff and like the really bright stuff, pastel and stuff.
And MJ, as you know, in your
He's
vlog,
got a super OD, huh? Super OD DG hat clown.
Who?
You. Do you
Yeah.
not?
It's not super OD. It's OD. I have an OD DG 100% het clown. Then I have an OD yellow belly pastel DG 100% het clown.
That's the animal I love the most out of some of the ball pythons I saw that day. I let me tell you guys, for me, at DG adults, man, I fucking love OD, bro.
Yeah.
That shit smacks, like you like to say. I love those. So hats off to you guys. Those are beautiful animals.
Thank
Yeah.
you, man. I don't know if you guys ever saw. There's a guy in Austria called Wilhelm Obermeyer. He's actually the creator of Confusion. He made a pastel fire Confusion Desert Ghost, and I have never ever seen anything remotely close to it as far as like just the contrast of black and yellows. So I'm wondering if with the pastel DG clown, the blacks fade so much, and that's what I think a lot of people, it draws them away from that. But if we can keep that intensity and keep the contrast of the blacks and the pastel DG clown, I think that'll be a real game changer. I think Confusion could possibly keep the blacks there from fading out. I don't know. That's actually probably something I'm gonna try to hopefully make down the line, but I was just throwing that out there just because I've seen that snake and I have not seen anybody make something as bright as that so far.
Is Confusion attached to another name out there? Like, there's like Tricks and Blicks and all these other fucking things. Is Confusion attached to anything else out there? What is it?
Acid and static.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Let's get to these fucking names, Paco. What does it make you feel like when you're so vested in a project and you're like, oh, I cannot wait to produce this, and then you see someone else produce maybe something similar, but you're like, wow, did he make what I thought he made? And then it's like, what the fuck is that name? And then now you find out, oh, there's another line of this in Canada, and this is what they name it. And so down the street from you has this line, and he just produced some too. Like, what do you do when that happens? How do you feel about that?
I just keep the lineage is the same. I don't really. I know some people will even change. Like for example, acid's a little bit cheaper than Confusion. I know some people will have acid and then they'll swap it to Confusion just to get the price to go up just a little bit. That way they can sell it for a little bit of more money. I just keep it the same, dude. If that's an acid, I keep that acid. This is Confusion, and then to each their own, man. They can do whatever they want, but I just like to keep it separate, just so I know exactly what's what. Because some people will argue that um, acid and Confusion are the same, but I feel like acid's actually a little bit crazier patterned, in my opinion. It's not like a black hole.
Has anybody bred acid to Confusion yet? Are they allelic or something?
I don't even think they have. As of right now, there's no super, and if there is, it's very subtle, like a super leopard.
Like a leopard,
But
yeah.
but I don't think. I think Justin did it once, and he didn't really get anything out of it. He bred a Confusion to a Confusion, but not acid Confusion. But I might try that actually.
I think they're the same. Pretty much, they're 95%, 98% the same. The one that's kind of dead is static, right? We both agree on that.
Yeah, you don't hear about it as much.
Yeah, I would say they're gonna start labeling those as acid.
Yeah. And some people do that, Some people do that.
Because who's going to stop them? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you have something that looks that similar, like my biggest thing before DG became what it was, there was before the testing thing came out, right? Because everyone was calling, there's people who had enhancer, and I was seeing all this enhancer shit, and then I was like, enhancer is another form of DG, and I was like, what's going to stop someone who has a rack full of enhancer and they're feeling like their enhancer stuff isn't moving as good as it needs to be, where they're just gonna be like, fuck it, this year I'm gonna just call all this shit DG. Who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna fucking know.
Mm-mm.
Well, if you scout people, that's why it's important to really check out and scout who you're buying from, because people post stuff, it's there unless they delete their shit, their Facebook, their IGs, I'm working with this, it's really easy to go back and check into people, Morph Market, what they've sold and whatnot.
What I meant to say is like, okay, like whatever they have for sale as enhancer, let's say they don't sell it, they just breed it, and they call those babies DG now. That's what I meant.
I got you, but still, I would go back and look, and I question that, like, yo, you got an enhancer all over your collection, like,
where'd DG come from?
Like that's what I would do, So
Yeah.
But okay, but think about how many suspect stuff's already out there, bro. There's already people, big breeders, who do suspect shit like that for sure, 110%. It's just not the cream of the crop who's doing it, but there's people who's been around, some of the sleazeballs who do that shit all the time, bro. Come on.
Oh yeah.
I ain't stupid.
That's why it's important to spend your money with the right people. You know,
Yeah.
Buy one get 3 free doesn't always mean you're getting what you pay for. You know what I'm saying?
take my shit.
Yeah, please take my shit. Yeah, and you know, dude, what's crazy is Paco. I've never. This is the first time. Last year was the first time where I saw tables like buy one get half off or buy one get 3 free, and it was kind of like Kmart fucking special blue light special vibes, you know. But like, you know, for instance, that's something that you're just like, all right, that's gonna be you, never me. Like, you know, you just keep it moving when you see shit like that. It doesn't really bother you.
I mean, like I said, man, everybody, we don't know what situation they're in and stuff, you know.
Come on, these people doing we know their situation.
Oh, I got you. So you mean somebody that like we know how they are and stuff?
It's their game plan. It's what they do.
Yeah.
It's like their formula. Like, and I don't want to, you know, this podcast isn't about, you know, pointing people out. I don't want to point people out because this really is a more than one person type of thing. But there is a guy out there who's known that every time of year everything's half off right now on my website. I don't give a fuck what it is. Just go buy it, right? But then now it's led into where every time he has a table, everything's half off. And not only if it's half off, you get 2 free snakes after you buy this one for half off. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow. So now this once a year special that you do, which I get it why you do it because you produce so much. Now it's all year long now. And it's kind of like, whoa, you know. And like I like you said, it's a good point. You don't know their situation. I know their situation. They're way in over their head, like a lot of these people who are just mass producing shit, you know. But that's like, you know, like there's so many different demographics of breeding, right? There's hobbyists, there's people who try to breed like the most edgy next level shit, and they want to keep that market. Then there's people who try to get their hands on anything they could get and then just sell it for however much they could sell it for, regardless of the market, regardless of what you price it at. Fuck it, I'm gonna slash this shit and it's gonna be gone, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, like now that you say like we know their situation kind of thing, that's their game plan. You know, it is a bit disappointing, but it's their snakes, man. It's their business. It's their, you know, it's their reputation. So to each their own, man. I just honestly look past it and just keep it moving, really.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, like none of the stuff you work with should be on that table. So it's like, go ahead and do your thing. You know what I mean? Fucking slice it all for all I care.
I've learned to ignore those people. I do my thing at shows and grind it out, and I still kick their ass.
You know, simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking whoop their ass.
Don't participate in that type of shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
We talked briefly a little bit about Morph Market at the beginning of this episode. I want to kind of dive into Morph Market now. Quite a bit of changes over the last year, right? You knew John, you met John. You knew how Morph Market once was. Still a great, awesome fucking platform. Just obviously a little ran differently, you know, but how's Morph Market been for you? Like, is it, you know, still great, or what are your feelings with Morph Market now? Let's, you know, get us up to date with that.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't. Apart from all like the drama and stuff, like with you know, the creators posts and stuff, I think it's been good, man. I think he's done a lot of good things for it. You know, the auctions that he just put up, I think a lot of people are enjoying that. People are moving some animals on that.
Are you enjoying that? Do you like the auctions?
I haven't joined it. Like I said, dude, I took everything off right now. I haven't been active on it for like the past month, and I'm just, you know, we'll see how it goes from there. But I don't see a problem with it. You know, if I were to sell some stuff right now, I'd probably throw something up there too. You know.
So you wouldn't mind testing the waters and seeing how it is?
Not at all, man. Yeah, I'm pretty open to a lot of things, a lot of changes and stuff.
Whoa, Paco, what else are you open to, buddy?
Right. Yeah.
You're not. Are you open to going in Bob's View van late at night at Tinley?
I've done that.
Yeah, I bet you have.
done that a couple times.
Matthew Summers got lost in that one time. It was weird. It was I don't want to say too much, but God bless.
Yeah.
Um,
Matt Summers.
yeah, that's Matthew Summers.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Emilio?
No, like on the auctions, I'm not a big fan of auctions. At the way they're doing it right now is fine. I just hope it doesn't open up more. I'm open to maybe doing one auction a month, maybe down the road. Again, I don't love it, but I don't mind it in its current form. Hopefully, it just doesn't turn into what it was years ago. That's my opinion.
You've been doing this a while, huh? Like the ball pythons.
I've been in for 18 years now.
Okay.
So yes, he has.
He's seen a couple things.
Yeah, but he was kind of see, Emilio came in around an era that was not wrapped around social media. You know what I'm saying? He saw like kind of shit where it was when people coming in weren't being brought in because of YouTube. It was more still like a niche, like, you know what I'm saying? And now, I mean, I think with the unique thing about Emilio and some of the people who've been in the game as long as he has is they've seen two different like views of the hobby. Because now it's sensationalized, but not really like in a Jay Brewer way. It's more like people are trying to fucking work with animals. Like they love it. Like this is something that they really want to learn more about, but it's literally grown into something that, like, even as bad as the market people want to complain about, dude, this shit's still growing. People are still coming into this game because first and foremost, regardless, like I said, where the market's at, people are coming into this game being able to get their hands on stuff so affordable now. Like everything's affordable in a sense, almost everything, but a lot of cool shit is affordable right now,
The next round of investor is coming in every single day.
Yeah.
It's not compared to COVID. You know what I mean? COVID was like fucking like
too much.
Incredible. Like there'll be nothing like that again. The only thing that could bring prices up going forward is like China opening up. If China opens up and starts to take a lot of our production, that would raise prices. But I don't foresee another COVID style increase again.
Yeah, I thought that's just how it always was, because of me like being brand new and stuff into this, but then like you said, over time it tanked down pretty quick.
Yeah,
tanked down really quick.
Yeah, what goes up must come down, and then the 180 of that as well. Everything will balance itself out once again. But man, COVID really just offset a lot of things. As people who flourished in COVID should understand and know, like all this that is selling off the fucking shelf right now, we're gonna have to pay for this in the future. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why it's as good as it is, and the people who've been in this game long enough understood that, and they knew they're ready for this time. Let's just say that, because I remember hearing from some people like in 2020, 2021, like, dude, we're gonna be hurt. Like the hobby is gonna go down after this, because anything that has a peak like that, like I said, it will come down. But I don't think it's really like, it's just different. It adjusted as we're just speaking about how it should be, but it's still not like, depressing or anything. Like, fuck, like, okay, still a $2,000 snake becomes a $300 snake. That's still a $300 snake. Like, that's still $300. Like, okay, come on. Like, that's $300. That's still something to fucking sell and build off of. Like, let's be real.
At the end of the day, Paco, and I see it in you 100%. People that love the animals, they'll always be here, bro. And they're going to be successful.
That's what matters.
Yeah, it's been nothing but passion here, man. Because like literally the past 3 years, and some of you guys don't know. I don't know if MJ, if you remember my girlfriend Yasmin.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the one that's really been kind of holding it down whenever I'm gone and stuff. Like, she does rats, everything with me and stuff. So like for the past 3 years, because everything that I bought as babies. I didn't really buy anything big, so I've had to literally raise every single thing up from the ground up. So for 3 to 4 years, it was just just rats, water changes, cleaning snakes. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was getting a little frustrating just because like I've been doing this so long and nothing has happened, you know. So then once I started, you know, getting a couple clutches, that kind of like really kind of like gave me some hope again because now it's starting to come into fruition, I guess you could say, you know. And so yeah, it's been an experience.
There is a time that there's a timeline you hit after raising your stuff for so long where like you almost start pulling your hair out because you're just
Yeah.
like because you want it so bad, you know. And but like you said, as soon as you get that clutch, once you get that first clutch, you're good for a while. Like you're just
Yeah.
like, wow. And then once they start flowing out, oh bro, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever.
And then
And 5 DG clowns.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bro, I just want to hatch my first DG clown. I haven't hatched no double recessive yet visually.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been pretty. It was a good year, man. I can't complain. I made a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed making. Hit some pretty good odds on a lot of things, and you know, honestly, man, I just think it's my dad blessing me from above, man.
Oh,
Because
respect.
like on his birthday, I did a orange dream leopard pied head desert ghost to desert ghost het pied. I got 9 eggs.
Wow.
I hit 5 DG pies, but one of them was the last boob egg. Like it was I thought this thing was gone, man.
Is this
I couldn't-
Ruby? Is this Ruby?
Ruby, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm about
Yeah.
to show her. She's fire.
And hatched out on my dad's birthday, man. So the whole combo ended up coming out, and so I named her Ruby. My dad's name was Ruben, so I ended up, yeah, she's beautiful, man. It's doing
Dude,
super good.
That thing's fire, bro.
Thank you, man.
That's gonna make me want to do some DG Pied hets this year for sure.
A lot of people, you know, downplay or like, well, I wouldn't say downplay, but just, you know, talk about the pied, and you know, it kind of does like ruin it in a way with certain things, but I like it, man. I've always liked the contrast of the super bright to the pied, so I'm just gonna continue to work it.
I had my mixed feelings about Pied for like a couple years ago. But dude, fuck. Like, okay, clown, you could say, is becoming the new normal. That's like the new like classic type animal as far as getting into this game, right? But a Pied is still a Pied, bro. A Pied is still an eye-catching fucking morph that will get the outsider who has no clue what's going on in this world sucked in. It changes everything. Pied is king. I will say right now, Pied is gonna be the savior of this fucking hobby. That's gonna be the gene that suckers people in. I don't want to say sucker people in. That's fucked up, but it's gonna hook them. You know what I mean? It's gonna fucking just like it did me.
I can tell you guys, when you have a clown on the table, a single gene clown, nobody looks at it.
No,
nobody, unless you're a breeder looking for a female. You know what I mean? But like,
or if you're checking to see if it's a het.
Yeah. The average person, they don't look at it, bro.
Yeah.
They do not look at it.
Well, because why are they going to look at it when there's a bunch of pieds and other like eye-appealing stuff out there?
Yeah. When people come over and they're not snake people.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Amelia. What?
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't hear you.
No, go ahead.
Shots at clowns. I love my clowns. Just saying, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Paco. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, yeah, people that come over that, you know, have nothing to do with snakes, you know, and they see the collection, you know, start throwing things out and stuff. They think it's nice, but as soon as I pulled the pied out, man, that's the one that, oh my God, you know, it's like, what is that? Why does it look like that? And, you know, of course, I like explaining all of that, and, you know, I could sit there all day talking about it. But like you said, that's the one that catches everyone's attention.
I will say what I'm having let's have like a group little poll here. What do you guys pull towards more, DG pied combos or hypo pied combos?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'd say DG pied personally.
All right. I'm gonna be working both. I'm leaning towards hypopide, but DG pieds are hot. But if you put my feet to the fire, I'm picking hypopide.
But the thing is, are like we just showed a DG pied that was pretty like low white, and that's I'm a low to mid white guy when it comes to pieds. That's just my thing. I noticed that a lot of the hypo pied stuff is either mid to high white. Am I wrong? I haven't seen a lot of low hypo pied shit out there at all. Like that's I just haven't.
Low white hypopides.
Who
I
has
mean,
it?
I've never heard of a connection to the intensity of white, the white with hypo. I haven't heard that, or GG.
I've seen a lot more versions of DG, low white versions of DG pieds than I have hypo. That's all. Because right now, if you want me to be 100% honest with you, what's getting me more excited to want to work with pied is DG pied shit.
Okay.
And I'm a hypo guy. You know me. I love hypo, but I'm just like what I just saw. Ruby's hot. Ruby's super hot. Like, just because I see a lot going in. Like my thing with pied is I don't want to have I don't want to have a problem ID in it. I want to look at that pied and know what the fuck's in it. Because if I know if I could ID it like that, the other person will be able to ID it like that.
I'll tell you. And Paco, give me your opinion on this. I see a little bit of more pattern disruption when you put the hypo in. With the DG, you see a little bit more striping. Am I wrong about that?
As far as like a hypopide?
Yeah, the hypo, a little bit more pattern disruption and a crazy pattern. And then the DG pied will be a little bit more stripy, a little bit more, a little less pattern disruption,
This thing's fucking hot. I like
it. I think so. I haven't really paid attention to that, but now that you say it,
yeah.
But
again, they're both amazing. It's hard to pick, but I mean, we'll see. Once I have both of them in my collection 100%, and I have a couple, I could give you a better answer,
Yeah.
So this right here is a DG leopard pied?
Yes.
No pastel, right?
You know what? I think that's a leopard DG pied. No pastel.
Okay.
Yeah, no pastel in that.
No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Paco.
I was just gonna say, when I first hatched them out, it was super hard for me to tell. I thought I had hit the OD, and some people were like, "Yeah," some people no, and stuff. But once they shed out, that's when you could really tell what was OD and what wasn't. But it was hard to tell before they shed out.
By the way, the pastel and super pastel DG pieds are fucking incredible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, do you think pastel would have made that DG leopard pied gain like a level up a little bit? You think that because we were talking how pastel does count in a lot of ways here still, and do you think in this matter it might have? You think?
No, that's beautiful, but
with pastel,
from what I've seen, I fucking love pastel and super pastel DG pieds.
Wow.
Yeah. I agree. I think it would have taken it up a little bit of a notch. Yeah.
Now, what would be the additive to a DG pied in your opinion, Paco? Like if you were to throw another recessive in the mix with the stuff you produced, what would you want to put in it?
Another recessive?
Mm-hmm.
Clown. That's something I'm pursuing this year as well. DG clown pod. So I made a couple of hets this past year to try to raise those up, and I like it, man. I've always liked DG clown, and I like the DG pied, and
So you heard people talking shit about clown pied projects, right? Like,
correct. Yeah.
Okay. So it's cool to hear how you're like on the other side of that.
Yeah. I like it, man. So I'm just gonna keep pursuing that right now. Like I said, I made a couple of pairings this past year to try to set myself up for that. So
you made some clown pied stuff this year or recently?
So I made pied double head DG clowns, and then I made pastel DG double head clown pieds. And I think that's about it. And then some triple head DG clown pieds. So I'll keep a couple of those back and then just raise those, and then maybe down the line, hopefully have a shot at it.
Now, do we think that it's better to do less is more when it comes to doing triple recessive pied stuff, because like leopard, I think that was no problem to ID, right? But we all know that pied could get tricky. Like there are like let's think about before the double triple recessive game in pied, when it was just codoms going into pieds. Some of these motherfuckers couldn't ID their shit. They're just like, whoa, we good?
We're good.
Anyways, but like, you know, so, you know, you just like anything else, you got to be careful with what you put into it, right? Are there any incomplete dominant plans other than leopard that you plan on contributing to the pied DG clown project? Like, what's your game plan to put some of the ingredients with the triple recessive project?
Honestly, I think for the DG Clown Pied project, I think it's just going to be try to make it as bright as possible. Just as bright as possible, because of course, you know, you try to add all these other codoms, you're not going to really see it. You know, you might get lucky and be able to see some pattern in it and stuff, but ends up being like pretty mid to high white pied. You just want to make it like super bright. Of course, you don't want a high white pied snake, but I'm just gonna try to go for like color enhancing stuff, like try to get OD or YB and maybe pastel into it and just kind of go from there. But I don't think I'm gonna try to work anything else. Like for the longest time, I always wanted to make Stranger Confusion DG Clown Pied. But like being realistic, now that I look back at it, that's probably not going to be the best route because you're not going to be able to see it. You know, you're barely going to be able to see any of that stuff. So it doesn't like make any sense to try to pursue that for so long and then, you know, and then just being super high white pied or even still, I've seen some combos made with DG Pied, like with Confusion and Stranger, and they're nice, but it's not something I think I'm gonna keep pursuing.
You,
Um,
you
yeah.
kind of lose the stranger, right? A little bit.
Yeah, you do. You do
Yeah.
lose a little bit of Stranger and stuff. Like I said, it's nice, but it's not something I was expecting more for sure.
MJ, what was that animal that Miguel hit? It was a OD clown, OD DG clown pied.
I don't know. Wait, was this recent?
Yes.
I haven't been up. I haven't been really on Instagram for a couple days.
I know Justin made that.
OD?
Justin made an ODDG clown pied.
Okay, OD DG clown pied. Yeah, that thing was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice. So that's what I mean. Like the color enhancing stuff, I think is what's going to really be best for that project personally. Um, you know, as far as DG Clown, of course, you want to add your codoms into that and stuff. But just because of the pied, I'm not going to put any codoms into that.
We have all OD fans in the house, right? I mean, I like OD. You two like OD.
Yeah.
Does OD belong back into another OD? Like you know, for instance, there should be. I mean, we all appreciate gravel, but gravel should become super gravel as soon as possible. Same with asphalt, right? Should that be the same with OD? Like, should OD become a super OD or a high OD? Like, is that a game plan for you to keep increasing the intensity of OD?
I don't see why not. Yeah. I think
Some
I don't know.
people stay away from that, believe it or not.
Yeah. No, I like it, man. I don't see why. Personally, I'd want it in everything. You know.
I kind of see the same.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with it. You know, I always say it depends on the situation, right? But yeah, why not? The super is much better. You know.
Yeah.
Chris Hernan, I don't know if you know him.
Sounds familiar. What's his
Yeah, really cool guy. Chris Hernan Reptiles. He's the guy we actually vended with Daytona with, and Wesley. But both of them, dude, they got some really nice, just single gene high OD stuff that looks super. You know, so he's been really good about line breeding a lot of that stuff. So as like you were saying, there's snakes out here that even look better than a DG clown as they're older. You know, he's got a lot of that stuff right now. He's been working that.
A lot of these guys that you mentioned, they vend a majority NARBCs, or what do they vend at?
Yeah, so Chris Hernan, him and Wesley do Tinley together. Him and Wesley Hatmaker, and then they had an extra table for me in Daytona, so I ended up vending with them, and it's been good little group, man. Him and Mikey Reed as well. He's one of Wesley's good high school friends, and they live close by. He's into the snake, so it's just good companionship.
So Wesley and Leslie are Wesley or Leslie?
So Wesley, hat maker, that's one guy. And then Chris Hernan and then Mikey. They're all
Got it.
just good little group, man. I've enjoyed them.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What were you gonna say something, Emilio? I'm sorry.
No. I've heard of Chris Hernan. I just don't remember everything right now. But yeah, he's been in the game for a good while.
Yeah, he's been in a little bit.
Now, what were some of the groundbreaking projects? I mean, you said Batman was one of them, right? But like, what do you feel like? What was other than Batman? What was another project that kind of made you just say, "Fuck it, I'm in this. Like, I need to do this."
It would have had to have been Stranger and Desert Ghost Clown, man. So I
Wow.
can like going back, like I started going to all the local Repticons and just I got hooked, man. Like I started driving out, meeting sketchy people at gas stations for rides, you know, all I got
Yeah, we've all been there, dude.
yeah, dude, yeah. So anyways, I ended up meeting Tom Harbin.
Yeah. Shut up.
Um
What
and
a
at the
what a nice guy, man.
He is, yeah. He ended up selling me a couple rats to get me started because at the time I didn't have anybody local. So the first snake I got, it actually almost died because it had only taken live and nobody here for like an hour away sold live stuff to feed. So I didn't know and I kept trying to feed it frozen and stuff and never ate. Well, anyway, long story short, I went to Tom Harbin's facility and this was maybe like at the beginning of like the end of 19, beginning of 20. And I was looking at his animals and he opened up a drawer and he had a desert ghost clown, which at the time they were like super rare. And he had just gotten it. It was one from Levant. So it's like a very
Dude.
highlighter
Hey,
yellow. I mean, that thing pops.
Levance's DG is no joke, bro.
Oh, I know.
Bomb.
And I saw that and I was like, holy shit, like what is that? And then, he said that's a desert ghost clown. I just got it. And one thing about Tom is he doesn't post, man. He just buys it, keeps it to himself.
Hey,
He
some
doesn't.
of the best are like that. Trust me. My
Oh, I
boy,
know,
my,
man.
my boy Mark Bailey, same fucking thing.
Yeah, super cool, man. I love people like that. And anyways, he that got me hooked. So then I got home and I look on Morph Market for a Desert Ghost Clown and then I saw the price tag for $10,000. I was like, shit, like that's obviously I'm not gonna get that right now. I'm just starting out, man. But I always like that's what really drew me into that project. And then the stranger stuff, I started getting online and then I came across IRES reptiles rolling from over in the Netherlands and just little by little, but I knew at the time strangers were like, man, 25,000, 20,000, and then Jason Amos was one of the first ones that got some of the first groups of strangers in the US. Well, he had made some babies, and I just happened to send him a message, just say, how much are these going for? And I can't remember how much he said, but he ended up telling me, and it was a lot lower than what I expected. And I ended up getting one of those females, and that kind of is what started it all as far as like getting into the stranger project. And then yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But
I was
just
dude,
got hooked, man.
I geeked out over Stranger, but like I always say this: I didn't come into this game with money at all, and
Yeah,
every move I made like counted on the dollar I had. And I
yeah,
remember Stranger was like, well, that's a good dream, like because it was just so taxed, it was so
yeah,
expensive, but it was also like for me, I saw the value in it. I was
yeah.
like, this shit's fucking nuts. And now look at it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna drop and
So
stuff. But
good.
at the time, man, like when I was starting out, like you obviously know like the price tags on some of these animals, and I was just working a lot, and like I would always just think, how much do I have to work in order to get this snake, or and I always forget you can do payment plans on things for some reason.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. But anyways, I started working a lot and stuff, and then I just figured, what's the worst that happened, man? I lose my money, the snake dies, it is what it is. I just like right now I'm young, I don't have kids, that's just kind of the mindset I put myself into for a little bit. Now, just looking at it, I don't regret like what I've spent into it, but I just, I'm not doing that as much anymore. So it kind of like stopped right now. I'm trying to like save up a little bit more now, but at the
But
time I just
you got to blow your load. You got to fucking. That's kind of how it works. Pause. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, you got to have to like have that feeling of like, holy shit, I just spent a lot of money. But understand that that's why you just sit back and you raise that up and just wait for your time. And I think, like, dude, my God, I talk about this all the time, Paco, and maybe it is your dad's spirit for sure. But when you're just in here having a good time doing your thing, good things come your way. Big things happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You get your big waves in this shit, and it's just game changing,
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And like one thing about my dad is like he went to all the shows with me. He went to Tinley, Daytona, wherever and stuff. And if there was something that I wanted, or I would just have to explain to him. I could breed it to this, that, and I just wanted his opinion on it. It was always a yes, go for it. If you're gonna do it, do it. Don't half-ass it. Pretty much. If you're gonna go all in, go all in. So he was always that person that always kind of like steered me into just getting it, because he kind of understood the investment side of it.
Yeah.
Because going back to the bearded dragons, dude, like I started spending some money on some of them, and I got into like some pretty high end bearded dragons. So then I cut back on my bearded dragons because at the time I had 10, 15 and bearded dragons, but then I started getting into some high end ones. So I cut down. I kept like 4 of them. I bred those, and do those things. I mean, they give you like 30 babies. So then I got some really high end ones, and I started selling each one of them for like $400, $500. And then that's when I was like, dude, there's money in this. If you go for the higher end type stuff as opposed to just like the pet ones, there's more of a return on it. So that's kind of, once I shifted into the ball python, that's kind of the mentality I tried to go for as well.
And that's why, like, man, like, I didn't have that investment mentality, and all that shit was not even like a part of anything I did in life until I came to the ball python game. And I'm so glad I did, because, bro, that's everything in life. Like, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you don't want to work for the man, if you want to just be your own fucking boss, you need to know how this shit works. And I just never, like, I always wanted to be a business owner or like have my own business growing up in life, but I just never knew how until I got to the fucking snake game, and it changed everything. And dude, regardless, I'm a risk taker. Like, that's my thing in life, man. I'll jump. You know what I mean? But this is the kind of game where that kind of works in your favor. If you do it right, you got to do it mindfully, right? You just can't fucking, but if you're able to take some fucking shots and your shots hit, oh man, is it worth it? Like those fucking DG clowns you hit, boy. I know you ain't tripping off that at all.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, and I think it definitely helped, being around bigger breeders and actually seeing those transactions happen, like them selling snakes and stuff. It makes it easier for somebody to, invest and stuff. If you surround yourself with people that have been doing pretty well, you just hope to get to that level one day.
You got to be around it to be about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
people like to fucking just think they could just be Mr. Social Media sticker swapper, which is a great start. I get it, but it ain't going to be the career. Like if you feel like that's all you need to do, you're fucking tripping. You got to go you got to see these transactions be done in person, or at least associate yourself with someone who's selling $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 snakes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't, then how do you ever know how that feeling is? You got to put yourself in that element.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I got a wrap-up question, and if you want to get a wrap-up question ready for the homie Paco, that'd be great. But my wrap-up question for you, Paco, for as of anyone coming into the game in 2024, to the ball python game, what would be the proper way to purchase a high-end animal at this point? Like should you give someone who's not really at the top of the food chain the time of day and look into those smaller breeders, or do you feel like it's safe just going straight to the top of this food chain if you can and just purchase from the best doing it currently?
So you mean like Would you rather buy from like the bigger breeders or the smaller breeders kind of thing?
Yeah, like let's say like let's say it's my first year or I'm just coming into this and I'm asking you, Paco, who should I spend this money with? You know what I'm saying? Like and like, you know, obviously if I'm talking about certain morphs, you could pinpoint who works with that stuff, but who would you send me to? Would you send me to someone who's more up and coming, or do you feel like it's safer to go to someone like Levance or Mark Bailey or someone like Miguel or straight to the top? You know what I mean?
Um, I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, you know, you spend money with Justin, you know, you're going to be safe. You know, he's going to guarantee the animal and stuff like that. But there's a lot of breeders as well that are smaller breeders, man. They got some really nice collections and very professional as far as like how they deal with just customer service and stuff. So, just based on my recommendations, I would, you know, just tell them who I think. Um, I've had personal interactions with and stuff, but I think you can't go wrong with either one, honestly.
Let me double up on that, because what would make you want to go back and spend money with someone you buy a snake from personally?
I mean, you can tell just from the interaction from when you first inquire about an animal. You know, you can kind of read the message and see how they respond to you. You know, do they just shortcut you, stuff like that. Somebody when you ask a question, they give you a good detailed answer, and don't get me wrong, I know not everybody can do that. I know, you know, Justin doesn't have all day to do this type of stuff, but to answer everybody's question. But I think for the smaller breeders, I think in order to get to the level they're wanting to get, you have to do that. You have to be very professional and polite, and something happens, make it right. The communication, I think, is very important as to when can I ship. If I want pictures, you know, send them pictures, like, you know, just little things that count like that. And then, of course, you know, when they get the animal, how does the box look? Was it an old, dirty box that they've had in their closet for a while? Just things like that.
Damn, I used to sell a lot of snakes like that in the beginning.
I mean, and like we all start somewhere, man. Don't get me wrong, you know. But as time goes on, you know, you build up to that.
Right. No, you have to. You evolve. You got to evolve. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go ahead, Emilio.
All right, man. You know, earlier we talked about how you vended Daytona. Do you see yourself vending more and more in the coming years?
I would like to, man. Of course, you know, the Holy Grail would be Tinley, and then maybe the new Dallas show and stuff. But it's so hard to get in. You know, being with Chris Hernan and Wesley, they've tried to get an extra table for Tinley, but they're so limited on space that it's pretty much near impossible. There's like 200 people on a waiting list and stuff. At least that's what I've heard. So I don't know. I would like to, but as of right now, I don't have nothing planned other than Daytona.
What
Yeah.
about God? What about your roots, dog? Super show. Come on, the Reptile Super Show. You don't ever see yourself coming over here?
God, that'd be so hard to do, man. Get all the animals out to
People
the
are
West
doing it.
Coast.
People are doing it though,
From Georgia,
bro.
Or
From
the East
Florida.
Coast?
From Florida. What do you mean?
Who from Florida?
Who's from Florida?
He's getting
I can't think, but okay, Josh Jackie. What about Josh Jackie goes.
He's in Kansas. Though. He's in Kansas.
How far is that near you? That's not
No, that's like middle of the United States. He's
still,
he's way closer.
still 20 hours each
I
way.
know.
Yeah,
But
Mm.
Tiki Geckos did it from Miami.
that's right. Tiki Geckos did
Tiki
it.
Geckos.
That's hard. But those are geckos, though. I don't know. Nothing
Yeah.
prettier. Either way, I'm just saying it would be cool to see you on the West Coast.
Yeah, it would, man.
And never say never. Day by day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do it in the future for sure.
Yeah. Especially when
Okay.
shit's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. This is a great episode. I do have hot seat questions for you, Paco. Okay, it's not that easy where you get to just kill it for an hour, 40 minutes and leave. No, you got hot seat questions, my man, just like everyone else does when they first come here. And guys, shout out to everyone watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Get the likes up right now for the homie Paco Miranda, because it's hot seat questions. It's a hot seat question time for you. Ready, Paco, or what?
Yep.
All right. All right, here we go. Hot seat questions for the homie Paco. And then, as always, Milo's going to drop it with the last one. And here we go. Hot seat questions coming in hot. Frozen Thought or live?
Live.
A cut or no cut?
Egg cut.
On what day?
I do 58.
Day 58. Okay.
58.
Red chondro neo or yellow chondro neo?
I like the red chondro neos.
When it comes to a ball python, a baby ball python, pre first shed meal or post first shed meal?
Post first shed meal.
If it was up to you to make this law, are you going to say yay imports or boo imports?
Yay imports.
What would be one reptile you would love to import to your collection anywhere around the world, like a dreamy one? What would it be?
I would do a Pogona barbata. It's an eastern bearded dragon.
Oh wow! Damn.
Yeah, those are pretty fire.
Are those rare here? Or are they not found here, or what?
They're illegal to import. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a different
So
subspecies
it's
of
new.
bearded dragon. Yeah.
Sick. All right. How about this? One reptile nobody should import ever. Leave it alone.
Probably like berms.
Berms. Okay. Respect. To spray or miss the ball python, or to never spray and miss the ball python?
Nah, spray and miss.
Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
Soccer.
Favorite favorite soccer league of all time?
The English Premier League.
The Premier League. All right, cool. Pause. Did you ever play like FIFA? Did you ever get down on
Oh
FIFA?
yeah, absolutely.
I
played soccer in college and stuff. So
Okay, so you used to get down all the time. All right.
yeah.
All right, big flexor or no flexor, Paco? Don't lie to me.
No flexor, man.
Oh, come on, dude.
No
Dude.
flexor.
Steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite genre of music?
Probably reggaeton.
Oh, okay. All right.
Reggaeton. Yeah.
What about West Coast rap or East Coast rap if you had to pick?
West Coast.
And what would be your favorite West Coast rapper or rap group of all time?
I like NWA.
Damn, respect.
NWA.
All right. Little word association. Say the first thing that come to mind. You ready?
Yep.
Morph Market.
Cells.
Milk.
Cereal.
Stuck shed.
Mist.
First time ball python breeder.
Rookie.
Okay. First time vendor.
Nervous.
Instagram trolls.
Instagram trolls. Just ignore them, man. Ignore.
Least favorite incomplete dominant in the ball python game.
Least favorite incomplete dominant. Say Pastel, probably.
Wow, dude. What a mean head. I'm just kidding. Okay, how about this? Favorite incomplete dominant in the ball python game.
Stranger.
Respect. All right. Last one for me, then Emilio. Ready? Coolest reptile podcast in the world.
We're on it, man.
Woo! I love it. All right, what you got for Emilio?
Hey, one of your last answers kind of killed my hot seat, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Okay.
Has to go. It has to go. All right. Stranger or confusion?
Damn. You said stranger. So you can't lie now. You got to say stranger.
Yeah.
You got to say confusion. Got to say hit the road now.
I like them both, man, equally. But I would say stranger. That's a tough one, though.
Stranger's got to go?
I prefer confusion over stranger.
Whoa, dude.
I prefer confusion, man.
Respect.
I don't know.
Hey,
That's a tough one, though, man.
That was a turn of
That
events.
was, yeah.
By the way, I agree with you fully.
Yeah, I like confusion a little more.
Now I need to get confusion in the mix. I think I have one confusion, but not enough.
Yeah.
Especially after that answer. Fuck, Paco. Fuck.
Sorry, man.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you so much, Paco, for doing this. Like I said, this episode was well overdue, but I think for good reason. You're a slow up and comer, but I feel like all this stuff that you've been patiently waiting for is now coming to blossom. I mean, like last year, you hitting those DG combos. That's, I mean, if that's not a fucking noisemaker already, I don't know what is. But people like myself and other people who are excited for this episode and to see you coming up in the game, what do you have to say to all your supporters out there, man? Everyone who rocks with you, Paco.
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone, man. You know, there's it's a good group of people in the snake community that I've met that have pretty much become family now. You know, I want to shout out Mike Sanders, one of my good friends,
Say
Robbie Kirkley from Redhead Reptiles, I would say. My vending group, Wesley Hatmaker, Chris Hernan, and Mikey Reed. Good group of people, man. That have become pretty much family, like I said. And then again, everybody, thank you guys for having the time to come out and listen to me talk some snakes. And thank you guys for having me on, and awesome to meet you, Emilio. Hope to keep in touch for sure.
We'll meet in Daytona for sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, and for people to just be on top of all your stuff, Instagram, Paco Miranda Pythons, best way to follow you, right?
Yeah, on Instagram. I need to post more.
Please
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to post a whole lot more.
Stop starving us, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're gonna say something, Emilio.
Been a pleasure, bro. We'll
Yep.
meet.
Thank you.
All right, guys, do me a favor, give it up. It's a wrap for the homie Paco Miranda Pythons, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bro, you're good to click off. Have a good night, Paco.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Right, peace. Sick episode, man. Cool guy, dude.
Great substantive episode, man. I love it. He's got amazing things coming for him.
And you can tell, man, like he's just all about just enjoying the ride. You know, he's a busy guy too, you know, with become a real estate agent now, and being a male RN, which is awesome, you know, like I respect people like that a lot, you know. But I'm telling you right now, for him to hit what he's been hitting already in 4 years, come on. That's respect there.
Guy's a pro. He knows what he's doing.
Yep, knows what he's doing, man. So shout out to Paco. Great episode, like we said. Appreciate you, Emilio. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. And for anyone out there who's not already, who's fucking sleeping in a rock, get out of under that rock and go follow my boy Bill Reno Reptiles on IG. Go subscribe to the V Unit family. Come hang out with us. Come have fun. It's a good time. But dude, go enjoy the rest of your night, Emilio. I appreciate you so much. Give it up for the homie Emilio Big E Top G, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bro. Have a good night. Thank you, man. Peace. All right, guys. Thank you. That's all we have on this episode on Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Get the likes up right now for the homie Paco. What a great, humbled, fucking awesome individual, man. And like I said, first thing I said when we started this episode, Paco's such a nice, awesome guy to meet. And this episode proved all that. So, Paco, thank you again. And then again, thank you to everyone out there who gave this episode the time of day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want non-edited, live, raw versions of these episodes, then you got to go down to the very first link you see in the description below and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. So many perks when joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. You get a link to the Discord, which will tap you in with just under 200 people. I think we're at 200 now. I got to double check that, but 200-ish people. Okay. And then there's a IG group chat that is just cracking. It's just so much fun, so much growth, so much learning within the Patreon family. So come join us. Come hang out with us. Trap Fest 2024, which is an invite event only for all the trappers, Patreon members. I got amazing celebrity breeders flying in. It's going to be such a great time. So trappers, Patreon members, you guys are my heart. And if you just watch this, plain and simple, if you just are just a viewer of mine, not even a subscriber, if you just always click on Trap Talk to watch this episode, thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support. And I'll catch you guys here next time on Trap Talk Reptile Podcast, Tuesdays. All in the Tree Tuesday tomorrow. I hope you're ready. You got the homie John Irby, okay? Type in Mid-Atlantic Arboreals and make sure you're ready for Tuesday night. 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time right here. But that's all we have for this episode. Thank you so much. Episode 445 in the books. It's a wrap. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, and I'm out. Cheers.